Hi guys and welcome to the next video of Microsoft Intune series. In the last video, we talked about web link in Microsoft Intune. I demonstrated you practically how to create a web link as an icon in the start menu of Windows machine so that the users can access the website by just clicking on that icon. If you have missed that video, you can click on the link that you can see on your screen. In this particular video, we are going to talk about Win32 applications deployment in Microsoft Intune. We will learn how to add Win32 applications in Microsoft Intune. We will understand the process of Win32 app deployment. We will talk about Intune Win extension, and we will deploy Win32 application on Windows devices in Microsoft Intune. Using Microsoft Intune, you can manage and deploy Win32 applications to the devices. But before you start deploying these applications, you need to consider a few points. The Windows devices where you want to deploy Win32 applications should be running on Enterprise, Professional, or Education editions. You can deploy Win32 applications on Windows 10 with version 1607 or later. You can deploy Win32 applications on Azure AD registered devices, Azure AD joined devices, and hybrid Azure AD joined devices. And these devices should be enrolled with Microsoft Intune. The next prerequisite is you need to convert the application to .intunewin extension. Now, what is .intunewin extension? If you want to deploy an application using Win32 app deployment, you need to convert the installation file to .intunewin extension first. You cannot directly add .exe file to Microsoft Intune or the application that has multiple supported files. Because Microsoft Intune do not support these file types, you need to first convert .exe file to Microsoft Intune supported extension, that is .intunewin extension. I'll show you this practically as well and things will be more clear. And the other prerequisite is the application that you want to add to Microsoft Intune, its size should not be more than 8 GB. So once you have met all these prerequisites, you are good to add applications to Microsoft Intune. Now let's understand how does Win32 applications deployment work in Microsoft Intune. We will discuss this entire process practically as well and things will be more clear. Once you have converted the application to .intunewin extension, you will go to Microsoft Endpoint Manager and you will go to Apps and will select Win32 app. Next, you will upload .intunewin application to Microsoft Intune. Then you will update the information for this application like the install command or the uninstall command and other application information. And after this, you need to set a detection method. Now, what is a detection method? A detection method is used to detect whether the application was successfully installed on the machine or not. You can create two types of detection methods, manual and custom. Under manual type, you can use one of the three detection rules, registry, file or folder, and MSI. You can create a registry key on the machine and specify the key location within the rule so that when this registry key will be located by the detection rule on the machine, it will be considered as the application is installed. Or even you can mention the registry key and the registry key path within the detection rule, and detection rule will automatically detect whether this application was installed on the machine or not. Same way for file or folders, you can type the location of a folder or file within the detection rule along with the file or folder name. And during installation, if that file or folder is found on the machine, detection rule will consider that the application is installed. And in case of MSI, you can create a detection rule on the basis of application version or the product code. And under custom detection method, you need to create a PowerShell script that will detect the application installation. So in nutshell, a detection method or the detection rule is a way to detect whether the application was installed successfully on the machine or not. And after creating a detection rule, you will assign the application to the devices. You can assign this application on all the devices, on user accounts, or you can create a security group of users or devices, and you can assign this policy on that security group. So this is how Win32 app deployment process works in Microsoft Intune. So let's move towards our lab and let's add and deploy Win32 application on Windows machines. In this particular demo, we are going to install Microsoft Support and Recovery Assistant tool using Win32 app deployment. So first, let's download this tool. Let's go to browser and type download Microsoft Support and Recovery Assistant. If you want to use any other tool, you can get any tool that has .exe extension, and you can use that application as well for the testing purpose. So let's download this tool. So once this file is downloaded, we need to extract this folder. First, let me create a separate folder for this. And let's move this into this folder. And let's extract it here. Now, when you will extract this folder or the file, you will see lots of files here. These are the supported files. All these files are the supported files of this particular setup file. Now, if you right click on Sara setup, you can see this is .exe file, that is the setup file. So if I want to install this particular application on a machine, I can simply double click on this setup file and this will install this application. But for this demo, we are going to deploy this particular application with the help of Microsoft Intune to Windows devices. But as we discussed, if you want to add or deploy an application through Win32 application deployment, first you need to convert that particular application to .intunewin extension. So to convert this file, we need a tool. We will go to browser and here we will type Microsoft Win32 content prep tool. This is the name of this tool. You will find one GitHub article. Open this link. Let me close this. Now here you see code. Under code, you will find zip file. So click on download zip and go to this file. Let me first extract it here. Let's close. Extract. And this is the tool. Double click on this tool. Now here it says please specify the source folder. Source folder is where the setup file is located. So I'll copy this path. I'll go back to tool and paste it here. Hit enter. Now it says please specify the setup file. So the setup file that you want to use is this one. So I'll copy the name, go back to tool, type the name and add the extension. Hit enter. Now it says please specify the output folder. Now the output folder will be where this tool will put the .intunewin extension Sara setup file. So let's create one folder here and let's copy this path, paste it here, hit enter, and for now hit enter. Now this will convert this executable file to .intunewin extension. Here you can see the progress as well, and once it is completed, then it will generate one .intunewin file here. So depending on the file size, it can take some time, and you can see the progress here. So this is almost done, and here we can see Sara setup .intunewin. So if you right click, go to properties. Now here you can see the extension is .intunewin. So this extension is supported if you want to deploy an application using Win32 application deployment. So let's go to Endpoint Manager and go to Apps, go to Windows and click Add. Under App Type, we will select Win32 or Windows App Win32. Now, before we jump towards Win32 app deployment, let me tell you one thing. When Win32 app was not introduced in Microsoft Intune, you had this option, line of business app. Line of business app is a legacy application deployment method in Microsoft Intune. Now, there's a difference between line of business app and Win32 apps. The major difference between these two is line of business apps support single file format. That means you can deploy an application that has a single installation file. For example, .msi file. But using Win32 apps, you can deploy an application that has a single installation file or the multiple files. You can use intunewin wrapper to convert the installation files to .intunewin extension, and you can deploy those applications. The other major difference between line of business apps and Win32 app is in Win32 app deployment, you can create detection methods and detection rules. You can configure error codes or dependencies, but in line of business app, this is not possible. So first, we will talk about Win32 app deployment, and in the next session, we will talk about line of business applications. So click Windows App Win32 and click Select. Now next to select file, click Select App Package File. And here we will select the .intunewin file, this one. So here we can see the name is sarasetup.exe, platform Windows. Here we can see the extension as well. And this is the size. So click OK. Now this information is already filled, but if you want to add certain information, you can add. That is mandatory. Publisher is mandatory. So publisher for this tool is Microsoft. And app version, these are optional. If you want this as a featured app in the company portal, you can select yes, or you can leave it no, and then go to next. Now here you need to mention install command and uninstall command. So depending on the application, you will get install command and uninstall command. Let's say this is an application that is deployed by your internal IT team, your own developers. So that team or the vendor of the application will provide you install command and uninstall command. But if you want to deploy Sara tool, close this first. So these commands are easily available on TechNet article. You can look for deploy Sara tool with Intune. And here you can find all these steps. And here you can see the install command and uninstall command. So you can simply copy it from here, paste it here, and copy uninstall command, paste it here, and install behavior will be user, and no changes are required here. Click next. Operating system architecture, you can select here as per the Windows operating system architecture. Minimum operating system is on what operating system version you want this tool to be installed. For example, let's say I want that the machines, those are running on Windows 10 and 1703 version or later, only on those machines this tool should be installed. So like this, you can select any version as per your business requirement. The rest are the optional fields. So click next. Now here we have detection rules. So under rules format, you will see manually configure detection rules and use a custom detection script. As we discussed, if you select manual, click add. Here you will see three rules: MSI, file, or registry. For MSI, you can use MSI product code or the version. And for file, you can use a file or folder. And you can type the file or folder name here and the path here. And for registry key, you can mention the path of the registry key here and the registry key value here. For this particular demo, we are going to use file. And when you install support and recovery assistant tool on a particular machine, what happens? It creates a folder, and the location of the folder is C drive, users, username who is currently logged in, and here type app data, go to local, and here under local it will create a folder with name Sara logs. When you will install Microsoft Support and Recovery Assistant on any machine, any Windows machine, it will create a folder with name Sara logs. under this location. So we will copy this location. Let's go to Endpoint Manager and paste this here. This is not copied. Let me type it manually. C drive, users, Bob Ross, and app data, and local. And here the folder name will be Sarah logs. So once support and recovery assistant tool will be installed on this particular machine, this particular tool will create a folder here with name Sarah logs. And with the help of that folder, this particular policy will detect whether the application is installed on this machine or not. So this is what detection method or detection rule is. Under detection method, you will select file or folder exist. So this detection rule says if under this location, this folder is found, that means the application is installed successfully. So click OK, go next. No changes required here, no changes required. Under assignments, you need to add a group of users or devices. You can add all the users as well, or even you can add all the devices. But for this demo, I'm going to create a group and I'm going to add a particular device in this particular group. So this device is, let me check the host name of this device. It's 18J. And let's go to groups, create new group, and we will name it as Sarah app. Dynamic device, add dynamic query, and here we will select display name equals, and here we will type the display name of the device. So go to Windows, and this is the device 18J. Go to group, paste the value, rule is created, click save, click create. So this is the group that we just created, Sarah app, and go to members. And here we can see 18J, this device is added. Now let's go back to Endpoint Manager, go to add group under required. We have discussed these assignment types already, but let me explain again if you have missed the previous video. So there are 4 types of assignment types under every policy. For this particular Win32, we have 3 required available for enrolled devices and uninstall. Required is when you want that application should be installed automatically. You add the device or group or the users under this assignment type. If you want that particular application should be reflecting on company portal first, and the end user will go to company portal and he will install that application from the company portal, then you will add the group of users or devices under this type of assignment type. And uninstall is when you want to uninstall a particular application, you will add the group under this assignment type. So let's click add group under required, because I want this application should be installed automatically on the machine. So select the group and click select. The group is added. Go next. Review the changes. If you want to make any change, go back, make the changes, and then click create. So now this application will be uploaded to Microsoft Intune. Here you can see the progress, 24%, 35%. It says uploading Sarah setup.exe, uploading Intune package.intunewin, and this is the size of the application. So it may take a couple of more seconds. 99% is done. So the upload is finished, and it says upload of Intune package.intunewin finished. So close it, and here we can see application is assigned. Now let's push the changes to this particular machine. I have opened this device here. So go to sync, click yes. Now let's go to Windows machine, and here on the right side at the bottom, here we should see a notification as soon as the installation will start. So as of now, I do not have support and recovery assistant tool installed. You can see here support and recovery. I do not have this tool. And so let's try to sync this device from settings. We have pushed the configuration changes from endpoint manager, but let's do it from machine as well. So go to info and click sync. So guys, here we can see one notification. It says Office 365 Concept Software Distribution, downloading and installing software Sara setup.exe. So now this particular application is getting installed on this machine, and still we do not see that icon here. So we can see this application is installed, and let's go to start menu and type support and recovery assistance. So we can see this application here. This is installed. So this is how you can add and deploy Win32 application using Microsoft Intune. And guys, if you want to be an expert in Microsoft Endpoint Manager, you will see a link on your screen that you can refer to. I have explained each and every option of Microsoft Endpoint Manager in detail in this video. In the next video, we will be talking about line of business applications. We will understand what are the line of business apps, how to add these apps to Microsoft Intune, and how to deploy these apps to the devices with Microsoft Intune. So that is all for this particular session. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you guys. Thank you for your time. Take care.